Right. So we're going to talk about growth today, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about. We are going to use me as the guinea pig this week. If anyone else would like to be guinea pig, please raise your hand and put your information in the chat. So we're going to look at my channel and where it is right now. And this week, I'm literally going to do every single thing we advise you to do in today's session. And next week, we're going to see, did it have any impact? And if any of you go in there and unsubscribe to my channel to try to sabotage it, I'll know, because I know how to look in the back office and see who's subscribed or not. So please don't do that. So we're going to talk today. Let me move our little patterns out of the way here. Managing your expectations, the power of shorts, promoting your channel, planning content, producing in batches, and collaborations. So let's go ahead and jump in. So R&D, one of my favorites. So when you think about content you want to make for your channel, you want to, it is okay to see someone that is achieving the style or the vibe or the content that you want, and to take it and create it in your own name. I know we all like to joke about rip off and duplicate. You know, obviously we don't want to plagiarize. You don't want to literally download a SpongeBob video and then go find a bull in your area and make the same video. Like, don't be that literal about it. However, use it for inspiration and use it to create efficiency in what you're doing. Is there someone out there that is already successfully getting engagement, successfully getting views? And then how can you take what they've done and make it better and give it your own style? Leanna, if I could mention Sphere Realty Group, that's one of the things that we're currently doing, because they have an exciting new project that they're taking on. It's still in development, so I don't want to say too much more than that. But what I'm doing is looking at other YouTube channels that have a similar type of project, so that instead of starting from ground zero, they'll be able to look at that, add in the spice that makes it Sphere Realty Group, TSRG, and then they'll be able to get the content out faster. Okay. And also think about, Aaron had put there at the end, make it more entertaining. So if you see it and you think you could spice it up a little bit, or sometimes you might have to even spice down. So, you know, one of my clients earlier today said, I saw a horribly annoying video on TikTok, and yet I realized there were elements to it that were good. So she actually toned it down. So don't be afraid to tone down or spice up either way. Okay. Find the gaps and fill them. So when you're looking at your competition, try to find what they aren't covering, what questions are being asked in the comments, and any other gaps in the information, and then make your content to cover these gaps. I'm going to give another example outside of real estate. So I'm currently getting ready to, I just bought an RV. I think a lot of you know that. I am in the preliminary stages of getting recorded content to launch YouTube videos about the RV and going across the country and up the East Coast. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at RV channels and I'm watching them pretty much ad nauseum. And I am looking at what's missing, what are they not talking about. I'm also looking at how are they talking about things and what I find annoying. I will give you one example because this can be beneficial for you all. I noticed that nearly all RV tours, almost everyone, RVers or salespeople, they always do this extensive exterior tour before they go inside. And if you look at the most replayed moment of those videos, guess when the most replayed moment is? When they go inside the RV. So if I'm going to do an RV tour video, do you think I'm going to do the inside first or the outside first?
Inside.
Inside.
I'm going to go inside. Is it a gamble? Yes. And that's why you field experiment. You look at your analytics. You know, there's a ton of data out there in that arena. Maybe they know something I don't know. I do have a feeling that people will leave right after the exterior, so I might not even spend time on the exterior. We all know what they look like, right? So, but anyway, I just wanted to give you an example of how you could do that. I also noticed that almost all of them are very professional, somewhat serious, and there's not a lot of humor injected straight up into the RV types of videos. That's a huge niche, by the way. That's why I'm looking at it. So I did find one young lady out of Ohio that straight up does crazy stuff, and I find those compelling. So I'm looking at covering that gap, being not as crazy as the Ohio girl, yet not as professional as the bulk of the successful ones. Make sense? Okay, so look for the gaps and fill it. Be careful with comparisons. When you're looking to your competition for inspiration and direction, it is important, but don't compare yourself to them and their numbers or perceived success. So what I mean by this is nearly everyone that's on this call, unless Shiaki snuck in while I wasn't looking, you're all in a very developmental, early stage of your channel. Do not compare, in bold, we used to say, don't compare your insides to other people's outsides. Same thing applies here. So if you find, an incredible channel that you love that already has 30,000 subscribers and 500 videos, don't look at their most recent crop of videos and views and then feel like a failure because yours is in the infant stages. So just make sure that you're just comparing against your own self. We're going to teach you how to look at how your most recent video has performed compared to other videos. So make the competition with yourself. Inspiration and direction from others, competition is with yourself. Compare apples to apples. I think that's kind of what I was just looking at. And this is a good thing to note. So as we are starting this out, I've said to all of you, take these little steps, pin a comment on every video, have a link to a playlist or an engagement question. I don't care if no one answers it, pin a comment on every video. Insert a card in every video. So there's certain things we're saying to do every single time. Well, then as you're doing this, you might go to Ken Kozak, sorry. And you might be like, well, he's not pinning a comment on every video, which by the way, I think he does. Or he's not doing X, Y, and Z that Bridget said to do on every video. You got to remember, for an established, mature channel, they don't have to do all of it because the algorithm already supports them, and having, say, 30,000 subscribers already supports them. So just make sure that if you just stick to the best practices until we know that it truly does not give a benefit anymore. Other than that, just do it. It is worth it to give you that best shot of getting more views, more subscribers, and the algorithm to put your content out in front of people. Okay, so just trust us on that. If you have any questions about that, please email us. Ruby and Aaron, and they both come to this with different perspectives. So Ruby comes with more of the marketing perspective. Aaron comes more of the systems algorithm perspective. They both have some of each. So if you're kind of like, I think that's stupid, I don't know why I'm doing that, talk to them and they'll be able to tell you, like, well, here's why you would do it. Let me show you, Hawaii team, what happened when they did this. And then, but we're not telling you to do anything that's a waste of time. If we're including it, what we're telling you, just do it. And if you have a question, make sure you ask, whether in the class or offline.
Yeah, and make sure not to compare like your real estate content to, like we were talking about before, animal videos or Mr. Beast video, or right, any of those like super YouTubers that are not anywhere near what you're doing.
And the reality is, and there's some, even if you went out there right now, I could literally pull up a video that says, don't post every day. You could, whatever stance you take, if you search, you're going to find a video that supports whatever stance you're taking. We're giving you tried and true, what we know tends to work in real estate and what tends to work in terms of creating a channel that will cause people to reach out to you. That's the ultimate goal. My ultimate goal for you guys is not monetization of your channel. My ultimate goal is you get calls like DJ 10 Hove. You get calls like Hawaii Team. You get an inbound email saying, hey, we want to come and buy. Our budget is between 4 and 6 million. And it turns into real people and it turns into real sales. That's what I want for you guys. So what we're telling you, if someone straight up was just looking to monetize or they were attempting to become an influencer, we'd be giving different advice. Okay, so just know that what we're doing is giving our best shot at giving you the advice that will help you get leads for your real estate business. So using YouTube Shorts, I was a late convert to Shorts. I'm jumping in with both feet. Thank you, Linda Lee, because you inspired me. And starting on the next Monday, I'm actually kicking off with a short every day for I'm not sure how many days yet. But it's a great way to grow your channel. You want to make sure they're less than a minute long. We talked about that. Was that 2 weeks ago, Erin?
Yeah.
It's an easy way to ensure you're uploading consistently. It's not hard. You don't need to do a ton of production. And they're a great way to get mileage out of a small amount of effort. So, Erin, I'm going to let you talk a little bit more about what you could or could not do, how it could be just as simple as you saying something in your car and posting it, or you could do like Jane did and do a little bit of music and editing and the funny thing with the horse, you know, with the bull.
Right. Okay. Yeah. There's a couple different ways that you can make a YouTube short. You can do it right in the app. They have a record button, so you can record yourself right into the YouTube app. You can also, I think there's another slide on this. Yeah, you can sample long form content. So there is, if you have a video that you really want to push, you can find a highlight in that, pull up 15 to 60 seconds of it and edit it into a short. You can film on your phone or other device and edit it either within the app or a secondary app that you have on your phone or on your computer and upload it that way. The experiment that I've been doing with my dog, I just film him when we're out at the dog park or whatever, on my phone, nothing fancy. I've made the challenge 10 minutes or less between filming, uploading, optimizing everything, and then posting. So it's taken me no longer than 10 minutes.
Did you guys all catch that? She's doing a challenge where she's posting shorts and it's like she sets a timer. She has 10 minutes to start, record, do any edit or polish and upload. And she has to finish it by within 10 minutes.
And these are not high quality productions. It's just my dog. I do add a little bit of text, some music sometimes, because it's right there available in the app.
In the app.
On your phone. But in the last week, I've gotten 42 subscribers. I think I've got over 9,000 views since I started this 13 days ago. It's a really easy way to grow your subscriber count and lead them to your long form content.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yep, that's what I was going to ask. Who has questions?
Me, Linda. So when you record, do you record vertical or horizontal? I know different platforms.
Yeah. Vertical for all of your reels, YouTube shorts. You're going to want to do it. You can do it in horizontal, but it's not a great. It'll cut off the edges. So if you're not centered on whatever you're trying to do, it won't show up right.
Got it. And then do you have a video, like when you say you record, you edit and you post in 10 minutes, do you have video or anything like that that I can watch very quickly and know exactly how you do? So save me time to learn, you know, all the ins and outs.
Great idea. So can you get Aaron, can you get Peter to record you doing the whole thing in 10 minutes, just so we can share with the class?
Yep.
And then if you guys want to see what she's doing, I just shared real quick. Here's the adorable Carter.
Wow.
And now, of course, again, comparing apples to apples, dogs will win every damn day over real estate. Okay. Sorry, every dang day. Right. But if you look at this, you know, 322, 741, 1000, 1000, 1.3. And as she mentioned, she got 42 new subscribers. So, you know, pretty soon after, dogs, cats, other animals, and Roomba videos. Real estate's up in there. People love real estate as well. Now, will it get this level? Who knows? It's not going to be an animal stratosphere, but just know that you can do the same thing with real estate, and you have a good chance of getting a similar type of engagement. Okay. In terms of what you guys are doing of building the muscle of making video, getting over yourself, not being like, oh, I hate myself on video, or whatever that is all going on in your head. If you do this, I believe that will get you out of your comfort zone quickly, and you will, you know, be able to come out further ahead than if you didn't do it. So I know that I'm going to do it. How cute is that dog?
I will join you, Bridget.
You want what? Sorry.
I will join you to do one every
good.
day.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Good. So Linda's joining me. Anyone else? So, and you know what? I was going to start Monday, but I'm just going to start tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to do it Aaron style. I'm going to challenge myself. It has to be within 10 minutes. Hey, I'll do it today. There's still hours in the day. So anyone else that wants to do that, we'll call it a 10-minute challenge, and just every day this week, we'll challenge ourselves to post a short and do it in less than 10 minutes. And Aaron, yeah, if you just have Peter record you doing it and then pop that up, that would be awesome.
And if you have the app on your phone, you can just play around with it without actually uploading. So if you wanted to go in and see what some of the features are, it's, you know, you can just play around with the text and the sound and all that stuff just to get yourself familiar with the app itself.
Okay, good. All right.
After you upload on your phone, though, it's a very good idea to go to your desktop or laptop and optimize your video. Now, it's not as labor intensive as optimizing a long form video. You don't need a thumbnail. You're not putting in chapters. You're still going to want to do some keywords. So write a description. It doesn't have to be as long as the description that for a long form, you know, just something about your video, or if you're doing some kind of inspirational quote or bold or whatever your focus is, you're going to, you know, just include a little bit about what you're talking about. Add a couple of hashtags to your title to drive people to that content. Mm-hmm. And then this is where you want to use the tags. When you're optimizing a short, tags actually come back into play. While they're not as important as or in your long form content, you know, YouTube themselves says this is, you know, not as important as it once was.
Right.
It's going to help draw more viewers to your content that are looking for that kind of content.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And there's a green screen option that is in the YouTube Studio right on your mobile device. You can, if somebody has made a video that is stating something that is absolutely not true, or if you want to go over like a listing or something that you have a static photo, you can put that in the background and then film yourself in that green screen, and you're going to show up in front of it. So that's another creative way that you can get some content out there. You could do that as a home tour, put a creative spin on a home tour if you're going to do something really quick. You know, look at this kitchen, or if you're into luxury.
Downstairs.
If you're into luxury or something, like check out this bathroom, you can have the bathroom or whatever behind you. You don't even have to be there. because you can use the
Right.
static picture and put yourself in on the green screen. So
Just
it's
make sure if you do that, that you have permission to use the photo or the media involved.
Get creative. Especially with shorts, you want them to be as creative as possible. Now, obviously, again, if you're into the luxury market, you're not going to want to be out there being an absolute goofball, but go all in. If you are into luxury real estate, show us some luxury real estate. People love that. You talked about Ken Posick earlier. He did a video today where it was guess the price.
Yeah.
Which was wildly successful. I guess he's done a couple of those, but had hundreds of views within the first couple of minutes of going up. So you could do something like that in your shorts as well. Get creative, think outside the box. This is a safe way of exploring different ways of filming without putting a lot of time or effort into it. And you might find something that works really well for your audience.
Questions are huge. So what questions, what would you do versus which would you choose? What's going to happen? Those all get people's curiosity, like, oh my gosh, I have to see what it's going to be. Connie?
Right.
Is there an issue with if you go out to a luxury house, is there an issue with taking pictures at somebody else's house and putting them out there?
Yes.
I mean, I may have missed this because I haven't listened to the last one.
Well, this just in terms of real estate in general, you can always take photos or video from the street. So if you start watching a lot of agents, you'll see that they will position themselves in the street or right by the curb, and the house is above their shoulder with no identifying address. Don't have 532 Primrose, in clear view. You don't want the address visible. But if you do that from the street, you can always say like, wow, I can't wait to preview this house. It says that it has an underground racquetball court, so you can do that from the street without getting any additional permission. If you are in a listing that is not yours, you're going to want to get permission from the listing agent. If it's within the Keller Williams brokerage, that sometimes has a little bit more flexibility, but you still want to be sensitive. How many of you on this call, jumping just to regular real estate for a minute, have had very persnickety sellers that were very private, that didn't even want to sign in the yard or didn't want the neighbors to know? Or, could you imagine if, their friend that's a social media addict is like, oh, hey, Connie, look what I saw today. Isn't that yours? That looks like the statue in your backyard. I mean, they'd lose their mind. And then you're putting your colleague in a horrible position, and you're also jeopardizing yourself. Anyone want to add anything to that? I think
you always ask for the permission ahead.
You always ask permission. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if it's your own listing, you can say, hey guys, I'm going to get creative with marketing, and go ahead and do it. And obviously always present properties in the best light. This is not you don't want to be like, can you believe this piece of crap is a place someone would live in? You always want to present it in a positive way. It's either an investment opportunity or it's a great property. And Connie, you and I can talk about that more later, but you want to be sensitive to that. People don't want their wares on display. They also, for security reasons, wouldn't want to feel like people could case them out online. It's actually one of the reasons that, have anyone on here, show of hands, anyone have clients that did not want a Matterport for their floor plan because they felt like it was a security concern? I have had that. Anyone else? Yeah, they did not. I had clients that did not want a thief to be able to learn the floor plan and then sketch out how they would do a home invasion. Personally, do I think that's a worry? No, but I don't, I don't live in a place where I think that's a big issue. But anyway, so just be sensitive, okay?
And give credit in your description to whoever you are getting the stuff from. So,
Yeah.
if you've gotten from a Keller Williams, agent, make sure you list them. This is so-and-so's listing in your
Description.
description.
All right, good. What's next?
Okay, so
Okay.
there's no hard, fast facts on this, but the people who've been doing the shorts challenges that I keep seeing online, 30 days, a post every day, a short every day, they're seeing that by posting regularly, it's actually promoting their older content. So like if you posted something today and then kept posting consistently for the next 30 days, if your posts are getting some traction, there's a good chance that YouTube will go ahead and push out that content again from the beginning, because they're like, oh, this person's starting to get, subscribers and watch time off of their shorts. So that, I mean, like I said, it's not anything that's official. It hasn't been, verified by YouTube itself, but a lot of the people that are, really testing the algorithm with shorts have found that it does push out more content. So, don't be afraid to post every single day a short and see what happens.
Right.
And don't be afraid to repost or repackage something that you've done that's doing well. So if you had a short that really took off, think about how you can make that a part 2, like a series of shorts about that topic.
Right.
Because there's such minute little nuggets of content. It's not like on long form where if you made the same video over and over and over, people would be like, this woman doesn't talk about anything but whatever that subject is.
Mm-hmm. So one other quick question just on usage. Erin, can you stop sharing for a second just so we can see everyone, do a quick show of hands. How many people on here have found a YouTube creator? You've seen 1 or 2 shorts, or you watched 1 or 2 videos and you're like, I really like them. And 2 months later, you've now watched every video they created, including one from like 4 years ago. And you're like, oh, why aren't they posting fresh stuff? Anyone else done that other than me? I've certainly done it. Makara Tours, I watched all of her content and then was annoyed that she wasn't posting something new. Right, so it happens. I saw a few hands there. So just know that regular consumers do that. And then in terms of rewatching stuff, I'm fascinated by criminal interrogations and true crime. And even though I watched Red Tree, their whole episode on Jennifer Pan, the Canadian lady that staged a home invasion and attempted to kill both her parents, killed her mother and not her dad. Even though I'd watched Red Tree's whole thing, I then watched JCS's whole version of Jennifer Pan. And then JCS repackaged and put Jennifer Pan out again. And guess who watched that? Me, right? So I only give that example of people do this stuff. If I'm doing that in my house, there's other people doing that with real estate all damn day. There are arguably, and I haven't looked at this in a while, but there's more channels on television specifically directed to real estate than crime. They might be neck and neck, right? But we're talking about stuff Americans love. You're putting out content Americans love. That there will be someone sitting in Idaho that wants to move to Northern Virginia that's going to stumble on Spear Realty Group, and they're going to watch all your videos, and they're going to go back and rewatch if you post something. Here's an update on Ashburn. They'll rewatch material you've already discussed. Don't feel like it's a one and done opportunity. All right, you can keep sharing now.
Okay.
And no, I'm not studying to learn how to outsmart the polygraph and commit the perfect crime. I just like to learn.
Yeah, that's what you're telling people.
Uh-huh.
So you can use your shorts to drive traffic to your long form content. So we talked about sampling from your existing long form content, or you could make your own trailer for your long form content. You can post the link in the description, pin a comment like you would on a long form with either that video that relates to the trailer or other long form content.
I
It's
would
a great
say,
way.
pin a link to your best performing video,
Yeah.
whether it is directly related to the short or not. Because if it has performed well already, it means that there's an interest there. But yeah, that would be really good.
It's a very effective way of getting somebody who's really interested in a topic
Yeah.
to get into your long form and actually give you some real watch time. We talked about this a little bit earlier. It's a super effective way of getting subscribers. So the more subscribers you have, even if you're not trying to monetize, the more your content is going to be pushed out. The more subscribers you have, they're going to see your content and click on it. If you're making good thumbnails and have good titles, like we discussed last week, it will grow your channel. And if you look at my silly little channel, 42 over 2 weeks, when I haven't really put any effort into it, that's a lot of subscribers for a channel that really is about nothing.
Right.
So if you're actually putting a little bit of effort into it and trying to make a decent quality content, you're going to build your channel. It's going to grow.
Right.
And we talked about this at the very beginning too. Don't be afraid to use your pet, your location, or any other thing that you can think of to your advantage. So if you live in a very historic area, maybe do a short filming yourself in front of a landmark. If you have a dog or a cat, you can always do the voiceover, give real estate advice from the point of view of your dog.
Linda, you might have done that with Sugar at some point. You've had messages from Sugar before, right?
Yes, and then, you know what? Actually, I think I'm gonna brand him as the most educated real estate dog.
Do it, yes.
My video thing, and I might just do that for the next 30 days, and showing him going to the office with me, going to his class, attending office with me, just do things like that. And because he's so super cute, and then it's easier to bring the distance between me and the people I don't know on social media closer.
That's right. Right. They're going to feel like they know you because they know Sugar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So yeah, using whatever you can that is in your life to your advantage. Your animals, if you're really big into hockey, film a short at one of the hockey games you're going to, something like that, so that you're going to, like Linda said, bridge that gap between complete strangers and yourself, and then there's going to start to feel like they relate to you. And even people who don't make the dog or cat the focus of their video, but have them in the background, people are like, oh, where's your dog in this video? Or, oh, how is, Scooter doing? They'll interact and ask questions.
Exactly. Bridget, I know I missed all your previous session on this, but I want to thank you for even organizing this. This is way beyond the maps coaching, and I so appreciate this because video is so important. What we also learned from family reunion, all new agent getting so much business from the video posting. And my gosh, being in business 21 years, I have yet to get one. So it's time for me to get into this game. It's never too late. And I also got a college intern to be my social media person, and it just helped. It's just onward. So thank you so much for sharing all this information.
Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah, and I'm excited whenever people get into it and keep it going. It's and hearing the business coming from it is really good. So I'm glad we're doing it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do. Promotion is huge, and it's one of the areas where I want to make sure that I stay on top of whether or not you guys are promoting your channels. So you don't necessarily want to promote a channel that only has 2 videos. You want like between 5 and 10 videos uploaded and then start promoting. One of the issues I find is people either start too soon or they wait too long. They feel like, oh no, I need a lot. Because if they click on it, I want them to have no, 5 to 10 is the golden rule. Most of you already have that. The few clients where I know they don't quite have that much yet. But if you've got 5 to 10 start promoting your channel. So and if you're reviving an old channel, just start promoting it. And don't be worried about like, oh, but the videos in 3 years, it doesn't matter. Just start promoting the channel. You cannot promote too soon or too long. Remember, you're stimulating the algorithm and you're essentially communicating with the robots right now. So in some ways, it just doesn't matter. You've got to promote. So what are some of the best ways to promote? Do you have a slide on that, or should I start?
Yep.
So start an email campaign. And as I mentioned, I'm literally going to do every single one of these steps in the next week, and we'll see what we can do. So you want to start an email campaign. So literally I would send out an email, and in the email, I call it a favor and feedback email. So when you start off the email, say, hey, I'd like to ask a quick favor, and I'd really appreciate your feedback. Post-COVID, we are revitalizing our YouTube channel and our video marketing. I really value your opinion, Connie. Could you please subscribe to my channel, watch a few videos, and then let me know what you think. Next week, I'll send you an email with a survey link, and you can put your thoughts there. If you do that, because if you don't have you're going to follow up. A lot of people might see it and be like, oh, I'll do that later. And then they don't ever do it. But if they know you're going to send a follow-up a week later, they're much more likely to be like, oh, well, let me jump in and do that right now. I spoke too fast. Me, I never talk too fast. Yeah, we can get the script out for that. Enlist the help of your inner circle. So this is a time where you're going to want to ask spouse, best friend, sibling, parent. I would include your absolute best vendors that you give the most business to. If you have a couple of very key inner circle past clients, ask them directly. So they might get your email, but also give them a personal ask and say, okay, could you please at least watch 3 of my videos? I would love it if you could comment and like. If you feel so inclined, please share it. And see if they will do that. Okay. How many people do you think are going to do it? From that inner circle? A lot.
20.
Yeah. When I call Mary Wiley and say, hey mom, will you watch these videos if I email the link to you directly so you don't have to try to find it yourself? She's going to say yes. Right. So, get that rolling. And then promote on other platforms. So one of the most underutilized is to share your links on Twitter. I made it over that 2,000 threshold on Twitter a couple of years ago, and then wasn't using it as much. Even if you don't have a lot of followers on Twitter, it is out of the other platforms. It is one where you could literally have your assistant share and schedule to share a different link to a different video 5 times through the day, give them different hashtags and different captions, and you don't know who is going to come from that. I don't have the data handy, but I do know that reposting links on Twitter increases the viewership of those links dramatically. So don't feel as if you can only post it once. I would post different links through the day, but the very next day, post the same links. So get that out there. So with Twitter, you can actually just share straight from the YouTube platform. So hit share the Twitter, share, hashtag, whatever. Yeah, a couple of you even see me do that with yours right on a coaching call. It's very easy. One of the toughest ones to do cross promotion is on Facebook. Quick note about Facebook and Google/YouTube. That is essentially Goliath versus Goliath. They are competitors. They are fierce competitors. Facebook is Facebook and Instagram. Google is Google and YouTube, and they are head to head. Google is the #1 search engine. YouTube is the #2 search engine. Back in the day, Facebook was one of the top search engines, and YouTube surpassed it. So why do I bring that up? Because if you share your link directly from YouTube, the competitor, straight onto your Facebook newsfeed, what do you think the algorithm is going to do with that?
Harriet.
Yes, it will literally be like this. Here's your post with your YouTube link. It will be down, shoved away, gone. Now, so am I sitting here saying you can't promote your YouTube channel on Facebook? No, I'm not saying that. You will get more exposure if you go into a private group or a page or a group that you control and you create a post. I'm even going to go so far on Ruby and Aaron. I'd love input because this stuff changes so frequently. Let me know if this is now out of date. If you take a photo that you control and you create it, put an engaging photo with a description of, hey, click on the link below to see a video about fill in the blank, whatever it is, and then put your YouTube link in a comment, that will give you more exposure in a group that you control. Also just copying and pasting the link into a group that you control. That's where the algorithm is not going to squash it as much because in a page in a group that you control right now, you have more influence over what is put in front of people. That is one way to do it. The other way to do it is very similar. So if you want to do it on your news feed, and this will work sometimes and other times you'll get 0. Go on your news feed and put an engagement question or an engaging photo, and then have your link in a comment below your post. So that's one of the ways that you can navigate Facebook. The reality is if you're creating engaging content, it's still going to be discovered. It will still get out. So don't feel as if Facebook is not worthwhile at all. There have been times where I've shared a YouTube link about a favorite song. And as long as I put something engaging like, hey, David DeLone, and I tag one of my friends from high school, remember when something with this, and it will still get engagement. But if I just post just a link pretty naked, like this is my favorite song, no one will see it at all. So we can work on that, play around with it, tweak it. Your best bet is going to be email, posting consistently, sharing links to Twitter, sharing links to LinkedIn, particularly your long form, share those links on LinkedIn. But so we'll get into that. That's, I just wanted you to have that in mind. Add it to your business card, add it everywhere, put it in your email signature. You do want to talk about it. You want to ask people directly to subscribe in every video. That's a long form video. You want to do the direct ask. Hey, if you like this content, you want to learn more about, buying land in Texas, subscribe to my channel. So, ask for the subscribe, and ask them to like your video and comment. And then don't post links to your content unless asked. Everyone knows that, correct? Do I need to go into that? I see some faces that makes me say yes. So you don't watch a great video that you loved that has a ton of views and a ton of comments and then go in there and say, oh, I did a video about this. Here's the link to it. And you put a link in someone else's comment thread. Do not do it. Okay. Now you do want to, I don't care if they're your competition, you can still comment on their video because again, as I mentioned, YouTube is looking at you not just as a post and ghost, not just as a creator, but are you also engaging in YouTube content in general? So there's small benefits to you. Like if you decided this week that every day you were going to subscribe to someone else's channel, watch at least 2 videos and comment on them, that actually gives you a benefit in your algorithm value to YouTube. Don't engage in negativity. If someone comments in a negative manner, let it go. Feel free to delete comments that are spam bot or got through your filter system. Make sure you have your filter system on where it says that it's that middle option. It's not review all comments. It's not hold for review. And it's not all comments. It's the middle option where it will hold ones that are spam bots or weirdness. And you can ignore people, delete, or kill it with kindness. Don't post and ghost even on shorts. So make sure that you're interacting and responding to any comments that anyone makes that's valid on your post. Even if you know it's someone from this class and like, you know, that Leanna went in and she went, cool video. Go and say like, hey, thanks. Glad you liked it. Yeah, because again, every action is a 1 or an 0, and it's all activity that is beneficial to you.
And if you have 5 people comment on one of your shorts and you respond to every single person, that's 10 comments that are going to show up. So that's going to make people think, oh, there's something really valuable here.
That's right.
It's a mind game. Not just the algorithm, but with the viewers themselves. They're going to see, oh, this video has 60 likes and 12 comments. I'm going to check it out.
Check it out, right.
So
it's the other thing, there's a lot of artificial intelligence videos out there, and a lot of people are like, nah, I don't want that. I want real people. So when you actually reply and you heart every comment that a real person made, and then you're responding, they're like, oh, this is like a real person. That Connie is a real lady in Texas, so we could go and buy land with her. You know, so it's making you stand out as human and not AI.
And building that connection, that personal connection between you and the viewer.
Planning content, we've talked about this a bit. You're going to produce in batches. So everyone, for your shorts, you can do that 10-minute challenge every day and do a short. For your long form, I recommend that you produce in batches. Leanna, you and I were talking about that, of, you know, even renting a production space for 3 days and just getting in there and doing it. What I always recommend is if you want it to appear as if you were doing it at different times, you always, for the ladies, you always start with your lightest lipstick first and your most simple hairdo, and then bring several shirts, bring several jackets, and bring other lipstick. And then if you want, you just change one item in between each video, and then in your content, it appears as if you did it in different days. I know some of you have theater background and movie or TV show background, and you guys know exactly what we're talking about. If you have any hints that you want to throw in there, please throw it in now. I will also say, typically speaking, and again, if anyone has any other information on this, let me know. Black can read very harsh. Solid colors, navy, jewel tones tend to read very well. Patterns like houndstooth and tweed or chevrons, as much as I love them, and if you could see in my closet right now, it's full of geometric patterns and crazy 60s and 70s patterns and chevrons and houndstooth. They don't read well on video. It could read well if you're literally against a solid background, but you don't want to be the seizure-inducing chevron video. So just be alert to that. Some florals read pretty well, but I feel like it's distracting, and typically speaking, a solid color is going to be better. Do you have any thoughts on that, Leanna?
Sorry. Yes. Just the patterns will get fuzzy often.
Yeah. And they're distracting. So, and black can be good. Black can be dramatic, but just sometimes those of us where a lady looked at me on Easter and said, yes, you are very white. I said, I thought I should go in front of the pool. She said, yes, you are very white. So sometimes it can be too stark, but I also wear black sometimes in my content. But I tend to err towards navy or a color that has a little softness or dimension to it. Okay.
And don't, you can also use a change of background. So if you're going to be filming a bunch of content at once, consider going outside if it's quiet enough, you know, to a different room in your house where you have different curtains or something. Having that background change can make it appear that you didn't film it all at the same time as well.
And if you do want a central location for content video, that's going to be a similar theme. So like Leanna and I were talking about, for those videos that are going to be about the process or the system of buying or selling or something that's going to be real estate related, she was thinking about having that background for those videos. So when people see that, they will affiliate, oh, I'm going to go to those. So there could be, yeah. So just
Right.
think that through. At the moment, it's more critical to get content out, and then you can refine that as you go. If you have a few extra videos in reserve, you'll be ready for those unexpected detours life throws at you. Yes. So film in batches, film little quick blooper style things right when you're at the end of recording. Make some shorts, grab extra footage. When you have that in the can, so to speak, then if you are planning on posting every day for 100 days and Gary Keller comes to town unexpectedly for a private meeting with you all, and you can't record there. Okay, great. Yeah, you still have a video that's going to go out. I always like to give positive examples, not negative. And then also time block when you're going to work on this. And some of you know, and I'm pretty direct. So I was doing pretty well with my channel. Life threw me a few curveballs, and I removed my time block from my calendar that I had spent to promote my channel. Guess what happened? Didn't happen consistently, and my channel just kind of plateaued. So now that I've put the time block back in my Google Calendar, because I'm a calendar nut, like robot, now it's going to be happening more consistently again. So I would say time block it, and it doesn't have to be long. Time block it and know exactly what you're going to do during that time. So not just for content creation, but for promoting it and embellishing and polishing it. Okay, we talked about some of these. You can get keyword surfer extension on your browser. That's going to help you come up with content. You can use TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer. That one is great. I get lost in there sometimes and then realize, I've been in a time warp. Conversations you have with your clients. If you have a consistent question coming up, or if you had a conversation with your client that took a different turn than you expected, then think about that and use that to inspire your next video. Frankly, you could even say, I was talking to one of our great clients the other day and they mentioned blah, blah, blah. So you don't have to say their name, but again, it makes you relatable and a real person and someone that's hands-on. So when you say things like that in your YouTube videos about referencing a conversation or a showing or a meeting with your clients, that makes you way more real. They actually feel like, oh, if I called that person, they would answer the phone. If I call Lavetta, she's going to answer and talk to me. It will make you appear as accessible as all of you are. So that's going to be good. And search bar in any search engine. I think you guys get what that means. So have you ever noticed, like when you start typing into the Google search bar, how tall is, it will usually fill in. It'll fill in most common people that people search for height. It will also pop in there anyone you've been talking about recently. So right now, if I start talking about Jude Law and how I love Jude Law and I thought he was so great in The Holiday, now about 15 minutes from now, if I go on to Google and I start typing in how tall, before I even finish the word tall, it's going to autofill with is Jude Law. Okay, so you've all had it happen. You know what I'm talking about, right? So it will pop up autofill options with what you've been discussing recently. It will pop up auto result options on your search history and things you search all the time. And then it will also put in there the most commonly searched among all Google users. So I would say put in how tall is, and then take a minute and just look at all those results and see if you can tell from looking on your browser which ones are everybody, which ones based on your recent conversations, and which ones, are based on your previous interests. Just gives you a minute to see what's happening. Now, funny note, because you were on this call on your computer, on your browser, and your computer is listening to me, and it just heard me go on about Jude Law being one of the best actors of the century and such a gift to the modern world, in not only drama, but also comedy. Thinking about his outstanding role in Spy, which, by the way, if you haven't seen Spy, literally made me laugh till my face hurt. You guys now have a chance of, when you do it, guess who's going to pop up in your search? How tall is Jude Law? Right. All right. So keep going with that. All
We don't
right.
have to go through every single one of these. I just have a list of some starting points that can
And,
go
and
out
you're
in the
putting a
slides.
link to this presentation in the chat, right? Can we do
I-
that?
Yeah. Well, Ruby can do that because I have one screen since I'm in a
Perfect.
hotel.
That's fine. Yeah.
I will.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
do that. And then what is next? So you guys get this. And notice there's numbers, and notice there's odd numbers. For some reason, odd numbers get higher engagement than even. So keep that in mind as you are putting it together. But people love numbers and lists and best and worst and things like that.
And we spoke a little bit about collaborations last week and a little bit, I think, the week before. So really start thinking about who you can, in your sphere of influence, interview to make content with, especially if they have a great social media presence. Even if it's not on YouTube, if they're going to share it someplace else, it's still going to give you the exposure. Of course, if you're trying to grow on YouTube, having somebody who does have an established channel will help you get more views, but it's a great way of making content, especially long form content, because you have that conversational type rapport with them. So really start thinking about who you could interview, your vendors, even getting past clients to give you what am I saying? Not a referral.
Testimonial.
Testimonial. Thank you. You know, something like that. But it's a
Well,
great.
some of your past
great
clients
way.
own great businesses.
Yeah.
So they would be good from that perspective. Another way to do collaborations is, so for example, right now, there's several of you on here that sell luxury properties. So if you, so let's say Linda Lee, Sphere Realty Group, who else does luxury on here? I can't see everyone right now. Lavetta, you've done some high end, but let's say you got to get Connie. Okay. So let's say, you have a meeting with 8 agents that all sell luxury, and you say, okay, next week is going to be luxury property week and we're going to collaborate. What you would do is each of you would say, okay, what does $1 million buy? Next day, what does 2 million buy? Next day, what does 3 million buy? What 4th and 5, right? So let's say you did that and that was the collaboration theme. What you would do is in the description box, you would list everyone else who's participating. You'd list their channels. In your video, you would reference, hey, this is part of Luxury Across America collaboration with my great co-creators, Lisa Dugdale, Connie Metters, Linda Lee, and, so you'd list it, you reference it in the video, and then you actually promote and create a playlist of everyone who's in the collaboration. By the way, super underutilized. So one of the things I'm working on right now is putting together a collaboration that anyone who's doing this class can sign up for. I'm calling it Forced Collaboration, and I'm going to oversee it and force you all to do it. Okay. Doesn't that sound fun? Who wants to do the Forced Collaboration? Okay. Keep going.
All right. That's it for the content for today, or this.
The assignments. All
yeah.
right, so you're gonna plan out content ideas for a month. Upload shorts. A lot of us are doing a short every day for the next week and challenging ourselves to do it in less than 10 minutes, start to finish. Do an email campaign to promote your channel. I'm going to encourage all of you to send that out to at least 200 people. If you sent the favor and a feedback email to at least 200 people, how many subscribers do you think you might get from that one email? Not all at once, everyone. Someone make a guess.
Maybe half.
Maybe. Yeah.
Third.
Depending on how you cultivate that list. I was thinking around 20. Yeah, Sierra said 20. So I'm thinking you might get about a 10% return. Now, it's not that the other people don't want to subscribe. It's just that not everyone reads their emails all the time, right? But I think a 10% return is pretty fair. So let's say that you have a goal of getting to 100 subscribers and 100 videos, and you have 10 subscribers right now. Why not send that email to 1,000 people, see if the 10% rule applies, and see if you get 100 subscribers, okay? Upload some shorts, the email campaign, You're going to enlist your inner circle to watch some videos, even if you have to email them the link. You're going to schedule time for collaboration, and you're going to do some research and development in terms of looking at other creators that are successfully covering what you want to cover, seeing what the gaps are that you could fill, and how you could take inspiration from what they're doing and make it better. Any questions about any of this? Did everyone on here fill in the referral network roster? Ruby, could you repost that link in there just in case anyone missed it?
Sure, coach.
All right, so we can stop recording now and do some Q&A. Does anyone have some questions?